Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be making 2 pairs of earrings using some wood blanks, some washi tape, crushed glass, and my pigment ink. And I chose the copper color. So the very first thing that we are going to do is do the back of our earrings. I did these ahead of time, and I have this beautiful copper. I just love this color. And it's very simple. All I'm going to do is take my ink pad and push down on it. And we will get our ink right on there. So very, very simple. So just keep pressing down so your piece is completely covered. And there. So I will let this dry. All right, so once my pieces are dried, I am going to just put a tiny bit of Mod Podge on the back. And that'll help seal the wood completely. And then we'll let that dry. And if your ink's a little bit tacky, that's okay. I put my Mod Podge on anyway. The ink will dry with the Mod Podge. Okay, so let that completely dry. All right, so most of my pieces are completely dry at this point. So I'm gonna finish decorating the backs of these. And I have 2 different styles here. So I have this beautiful style, which I absolutely love this one. And I am going to go right in the middle and lay that on. And then just tear that right off. Same thing, go right down the middle. This one I want to go right on the side, and I want to kind of line up that this piece right here. And then I will go opposite direction this time. I'm trying to make sure I got this straight. Pull this over just a tad bit more. And then I'm going to put Mod Podge over this as well. And then let's have all of this dry. Oops, if you got too much glue on there, just kind of wipe it away. So we'll let that completely dry and then we will return. All right, guys, so as I was letting everything dry, I decided I wanted to add a little bit more to this particular one. I love how these are looking. I'm going to keep these the way they are. These ones I felt like they were missing something. So I have these small strips and I'm going to add these to my piece. So all I did was just take and place them on. And at this point, my Mod Podge is completely dry. So I am going to go over it one more time after I do this. All right, so now I just rubbed it down and then I am going to put my glitter Mod Podge on. And I just, like I said, I just want to do this one slightly different than the other ones. Let me take this top off. And I absolutely love this glitter Mod Podge. It just looks so beautiful and really brings the pieces out. So I will just go over this lightly just to make sure that everything is held down. And this is extreme glitter, so it will go on thick. You do not need a lot of this. So this bottle here will last a very, very long time. All right, so then just let that completely dry. All righty. So now I'm going to move on to my next step, and I am just going to trim up my washi tape and just get rid of all the extra here. All right. So now my next step is to put my Mod Podge on again. And this time I'm going to be using the regular one. Oops, that is a lot. Do not need that much. And then once again, I will be putting my washi tape on. I'm going to go right down the middle. And yes, I am doing this while my Mod Podge is still wet. And then I will once again, I have plenty of glue still in my brush, so I will just go right over. And I will let those start to dry. All right, so my piece on the washi tape is completely dry. So I will once again trim this section up. And then this is still a little bit damp, but this one is completely dry. So I am going to get my UV resin, And I am just going to carefully just put a tiny bit on each side. You do not need a lot of this right away. So I'm just going to kind of, at this point, we are just going to put on our little stones. So I want a very thin layer, just enough to add our little stones. So this is not going on thick. And when you use your tool, you'll have more control of where your resin is going. So that's how that's, and then I will go right over my piece. And obviously you don't need that much. And then add a little bit. We're just going to add a little bit at a time because we just want these little stones to stick. All right, so I'm going to put this under my UV light just to get those initially to stick on. And some of them will come off, and we're going to do a second layer, but we initially just want to do a small layer first. I'm going to blow dry this just to make sure this is completely dry, because before I put my resin on, I want to make sure the wood is dry. This one is cured, so we will go over once again and put a little bit on top. And just spread that right over it. And if you feel like at this point you want to add more, you can. And I'm just going to add a few pieces to this, and I am going to keep going with a little bit more of my resin as I need it. And then if I want more, I could just pick it up, because now I have resin on my tool and everything will stick to my tool, so I could add it very easily at this point. Okay, so now I'm just going to put a nice amount right in the middle. I get a clean tool. Let me wipe that off. And then I need to just pull my resin right over. Oops, get my lighter, pop any bubbles out that I may have. I missed a spot right here. All right, so now I'll put that under my light. And we'll do the same. Now this one, I have more stones on, so I will not have to add as many. If you move it kind of back and forth like this, you'll be able to see if there's any, what do you call it? Any bubbles. All right, so now we will move on to these while those are under the light and trim these up. Now I'm going to poke my hole in this one right away. I forgot to do it on the other one, so that's going to be tricky to figure out where my hole is. But I'm going to take a pointing tool. I would love this tool for this, and I'm just going to poke a hole right in there right away. This way I can find it much easier when I do the next section. So look how beautiful. I love the sparkle on that. Just absolutely gorgeous. So now I'm going to do something very similar. And I'm going to go on the edge here. Oh wait, I forgot to put my Mod Podge on. Ooh, that would have been a mistake because all that would pop up. You absolutely need Mod Podge for these. If you do not, you run the chance of having your washi tape lifting up after you resin it. So always put a layer of Mod Podge on your wood to kind of help seal it and make sure everything sticks nicely. Okay. All right, so let's do this once again. Lay that down, and that gives it that extra security of having the Mod Podge on. And then I will just put one more layer on there. And let's do the same thing. Okay, so we'll let that completely dry. Make sure it's pushed down well. I have a wrinkle right there, so I want to make sure that wrinkle is not there. So if you have a wrinkle, just rub it and then put your Mod Podge back on. All right, so now my pieces are dry. Look how beautiful. I love the glitter. The glitter really brings this piece together. So now I am going to trim these all up. Okay, where is my front? All right, so what I am going to do is just poke my holes right away in here so I know exactly where my holes are and make it easy on myself. This time I'm going to use my gold crushed glass, and I'm going to do the same idea that I did before. I'm going to put my resin on here. And you do not need too much. And I'm just going right to my edge. So remember, do not go past your washi tape. So at this point, you see how this is all kind of bumpy over here? I'm going to take my tool and then I'm going to just push it where I want this to go. Because you have all the control at this point because nothing is sealed. So if it comes over too much, you just push that right over and give it a nice clean line. And then I'm just going to make sure everything is right where I want it. All right, so now I'm going to put this under my UV light. All this I can clean up afterwards. So this I'm going to push over just a tad bit. These ones are finished. Look how beautiful. I really love the colors on this one. So before I move on, I want to see which side has my hole. So I know, all right, so this side. So I know my hole is going to be right about there. I just want to see if I can, and I can poke a hole right in that area. So then I will use my drill and finish the hole. And let's see, where's the hole? Yep, so the hole is right there. And maybe in that area. Yep, all right, look at that. That actually went right through, but I lifted that up, unfortunately. All right, so I will have to reseal that, which is okay. And I'm lifting up on that side as well, so I'll have to reseal that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Mod Podge. And I actually don't even need a lot. So I'll just put a little bit on my table. And then I'm going to go right under and seal that shut. And then I'll just take this and go over. Because I will put the smallest amount of resin on here just to make sure that this is sealed. But you always want to make sure your underneath is securely down, so this way when you put resin on, it doesn't pop back up and basically destroy your piece. All right, so let that dry. I'm done with my washi tape. So beautiful, beautiful washi tape. I absolutely love this one. The set. This is what I got in the complete set. So I got so many gorgeous ones. Look at these beautiful flowers. I mean, so many beautiful ones. So I will put a link in that for you as well in the description area. And then I'm going to put this back in. And let's wait for our other pieces to be complete. Okay, so this completely dried. It looks fantastic. I am not going to put resin on the back of these. I really Love the way that it has that matte feel to it, or the matte look to it, and how it's shiny in the front. So I am going to keep those just the way that they are. I mean, look how beautiful these came out. I think this combination really worked out well. I'm super pleased with it. The Mod Podge worked great. It sealed everything down beautiful. So the last thing that we need to do for this pair of earrings is just put our jump rings in and then put our fish hook findings on. So I am actually going to take these, as I do with all my earrings, and I will turn them so I don't have to add an extra jump ring, and then place them on and close them up. And then my earring is complete. So I'm just going to show you one more time. You open it up, put the jump ring in, take the loop at the bottom, turn it, and do it slowly so you don't go breaking it off, and then close it again. And look how beautiful. I really like these a lot. I think adding the colorful glass just looks so beautiful on there. I really, really like those. So let me see if my other ones are done. And I am going to turn these quick, get these ones ready. Always make sure when you are putting your earrings on, your jump rings, that this part that goes in your ear faces the back of the earring. So that way it lays properly on your ear, okay? This one's not closed all the way. There we go. I actually forgot. I want to add my gold around the edge to finish this set off. All right. So this is a brand new one. So when you get new ones, you have to kind of get them prepped and ready. So you need to push down on the tip to get the paint to come down. This is a metallic gold, and I loved my silver one so much that I wanted to get a gold one because my gold paint stick is an acrylic one, and it really looks more yellow than the metallic gold. So I really just wanted that real nice shiny look. So I decided to just go out and get another set of markers. And see, now you can see it's starting to come down. So get it nice and filled to the tip. There we go. And now I will go around my edge. So pretty. If you have like a little area that's kind of sticking out, you could kind of pick that right off. And turn that. And then I'm going to go right up on the edge so you can see that gold line on the front of the piece. And I'm not going to worry about where the glass is because the gems do all the showcasing on that. And then we could turn it around and do the back as well. And at this point, you're just going right around the edge. Wait. Okay, and then I'll hang that up to completely dry. We'll do this one right away. Doing the edges of your pieces really just bring the whole piece together and complete it. So it's not something you have to do. I just really think it completes it and makes it look so beautiful and more professional looking. All right, these pieces are now dried, beautifully cured. I absolutely love them. So I'm going to do the sides of these ones right away. If you hear a bunch of noise in the background, I actually have my roof guy here. He's replacing my roof. So you might hear some banging going on. And if you do, that's what it is. So I'm just gonna go right around the edge and the front there. And look at how much look how beautiful that looks. So much better. So I will let that front dry before I do the back. So I'm trying to decide if I want to resin the back of these or not, because with the glitter, I feel like when I resin them, they just shine so much more nicer and they look very, very pretty. So I'm thinking I might end up just putting resin, like a very thin layer on, just to bring out that glitter of the Mod Podge. Okay. So I'm going to give that a few minutes to completely dry. And then I'm going to put a little resin on these. So let me do this. I'm going to put that one down. This one should be completely fine. So I'm just going to put a thin layer on this one. And like I said, I really think this is just going to bring the piece to life. I don't know where my paintbrush went. I gotta find my paintbrush because I think that's gonna work so much nicer. I don't want a thick coat. I just want a very, very thin coat. Oh, they're right here in front of my face. Okay. Okay. This just goes so much quicker when you have a brush. So very thin layer. I could already see the sparkle really coming through. Oh, so much prettier. I love the sparkle of this Mod Podge, but when you put the resin on, it just really takes over and looks so beautiful. My pieces are done, they're cured, and look how beautiful. I really like these. These are really a fun pair of earrings. So what I want to do first is just make sure my holes are open. Sometimes the resin gets in there and I'm not going to be able to poke through, so I'll get my little drill and I will just drill that hole right back open. Very, very easy. I like to go through both sides. This one is open. I can see that, so I don't need to do anything with that. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put these on before I outline the last of these pieces. This way I can hang them up to dry completely. And put those in. I have had people ask me, do I put something over the marker that I put on, like a resin or gloss or something like that? No, I do not. So far, I have not had an issue with them rubbing off or anything along those lines. So that will stay on, at least they have for my pieces. So I'm going to outline the very edge of the back here. If you get too much on when you first do it, you just wipe it right off. Sometimes I'll go too fast and then I get too much on. So as long as you wipe it right away, it will come off. Don't let it dry though. And look how much nicer that looks. So I'm going to show you the difference with the gold around it and without the gold. So it just looks so much more professional to me. This marker is beautiful. So much nicer than my other one. Metallic colors really give it that real gold feel. And that's it. So I'll let those completely dry, but I will show you quickly. Look how beautiful. So you have the front and the back both decorated. I really like the glitter. It looks so beautiful with that resin on top. Just absolutely stunning. And these, I just love the colorful look, and then the matte on the back. So very, very gorgeous. 2 pairs of earrings I absolutely love. I really hope you guys enjoy creating these along with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.